Hello everyone, today we have a not-so-fresh Lexus under repair. Its owner loves Lexus in this particular body. He already had 2 or 3 before, and he bought this one for restoration for himself. He chose this copy for a long time. According to him, for the money that he paid for it, this one has the most worthy condition. I don't know what others were there, but what they brought. It can be seen that the car stood for a long time after the accident, and maybe even drove. You can see a lot of rust in places of lagging paint. The main blow fell on the rear left fender. It is indented to the shock absorber support. The rear panel has shifted to the right side. Due to this, the trunk lid has risen. The rear left door was damaged, deformed not only outside, but also the inside. Also, the car was damaged in front. The headlight was broken here. The hood was crumpled. The fender was severely deformed. The bumper was torn. There is probably damage inside under the fender and hood. So, we are starting repairs. Repairs start from the back. We cut a hole. Grab the fender through a special device. Pull it out to the left and back a little. Constantly closing the trunk, we check how the back of the body is in place. Since the rear panel is preserved, we straighten it while stretching. We gradually move towards the front of the car. We cut a hole under the hatch of the gas tank, and also pull the fender. Thus, we are trying to pull out the mudguard jammed to the shock absorber support. Finished with the hood of the wing, proceed to its dismantling. We mark with a core, drill and cut off the fender with a chisel. This donor was brought to us by the owner of the car. The donor is in fair condition, not flawless of course, but everything is quite good. There is some deformation of the threshold, but we will work with this later. We begin to separate the fender from the donor. To dismantle the fender from the donor, like any other part, it is required to remove all contact welding. We mark each weld point at the beginning with a core, then drill it. And these points on the fender are not 5 or 10. This is by the way that accurate dismantling is not at all as simple and not as fast as some experts on the internet think. After drilling, you have to work with a chisel and a hammer. As a rule, tinsmiths have a special chisel, at least for me and my colleagues. Given the size of the fender removed from the donor, we continue to dismantle the damaged part from the body. Also drill and cut with a chisel. Right now it's impossible to drill on the body with an ordinary drill because we don't need through holes, so we use a special cutter. The mudguard is not completely cut off as I said earlier. We keep the larger half on the body. We separate the remains of the fender in parts so as not to deform the body. We apply the resulting part to the body and mark the contour along the pillar and the threshold. We remove the fender, cut future welding spots on the body, install the fender, and we already do a more accurate fit together with the fender right along the body. To check the gap on the side, install the door. Some manipulations with the fender are required. We move it back and forth. Ultimately we get the correct gap. We also assemble the back. During the assembly process we fix the fender on the screws. The process is difficult and not fast, but everything must be set before welding. We get the correct gaps. Disassemble everything for applying anti-corrosion primers. We straighten the threshold in the donor fender. Apply wash primer and cover it with acryl primer from above. Having previously welded the linings in the places of welding of the fender, on the rack and on the threshold we install the fender. Put it on the screws, we begin the assembly again. After checking the correct position of the fender, we again disassemble everything and proceed to welding. Welding and body repair is very different from welding any kind of metal structures. Having welded and processed all the seams with a grinder, we cover them with primer. It is necessary to immediately close the open metal. After that we again install the door, bumper, lights, check the gaps. This is what the mudguard looks like from the side of the wheel. The seam is primed and sealed with sealant. Let's move on to the front. Take off the bumper. We remove the remnants of the headlight. Remove the deformed fender. Bleed the gas from the air conditioner, since in order to change the front panel we will need to remove the air conditioner radiator. We start to pull. We pulling very carefully, since this car has not been in a single accident. Life has battered it. This can be seen from the fender support. It is all chewed and welded. And this is our second donor. In perfect condition, with pieces of spars. We will drill only the panel from the donor and change it. We remove the panel from the body. It is clear that not only the left side on this car was hit, but also the right side. Of course, the painters will have to work hard with the body. They will need to remove all the rust and pickle all these places. In general, the condition of the body is not very good. But probably such a car in the best condition is almost impossible to find in our region. We install the panel on the body in accordance with the factory dimensions and begin assembly.
What we live through here and in other places.
We install fenders and headlights. Close the hood and check the gaps. We put the bumper in place. After making sure that everything is stretched out correctly in size, we again disassemble everything, weld, grind it, coat it with primers and start assembling again. The car stayed in the body shop for a little over a week and painters worked with it for another 6 weeks. After complete assembly, you can now see what happened. It was decided to change the body color to bright red. Unfortunately, such projects are not often completed due to various circumstances, mainly due to the high cost of repairs. We are very pleased that this car was completed all the same and now pleases its owner. So that they don't say that we are renting some other car. Very distant places are often not painted over in a new color. This is not prohibited by law. Under the hood, everything remains in its original color. Thank you for watching the video to the end. Don't forget to click something below the video and write something in the comments. In the next video we will be repairing another car, so see you soon.